My name is Mabella. When I was diagnosed, I was 5 years old. If there was a cure for type 1 diabetes, it would change my life because I have to test every day at school and I have to skip class sometimes because of my blood sugars, and it's very hard for me, and it'd be much easier if I didn't have it. Also, I'm really worried about my brothers and sisters because they have the chance of getting diabetes because of me having diabetes. So they have a chance of getting it, which is I'm really worried about. Even though that I'm strong, I'm worried about them because they're younger, and it just scares me because I don't want them to get it too and go through all this pain, everything that happens.
Casey, how old were you when you found out you were diabetic?
I was 5 years old. If they found a cure for diabetes tomorrow, it would mean that to me that I wouldn't have to keep waking up, because I really don't like to keep waking up and testing my blood sugar 4 times a night.
My name's Cami Lang, and I was diagnosed when I was 4, and I am now 14. When I was about 11 years old, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was disoriented. I didn't know what was going on, and it turns out that my blood sugar was 22, and it's supposed to be 70 to 120 for me. And I called for my mom and she never heard me, and so I called for her again, and that time she heard me, and I said to her, if you didn't hear me that second time, I wasn't going to be able to call for you again. That's how low my blood sugar was. And it kind of scares me now because my worst fear is that I'm not going to wake up from one of these really bad lows and my life is over. I feel like that to have the artificial pancreas, it wouldn't just take a load off of my shoulders, it would take a load off my friends and family's shoulders, because they're my support system. They're the ones who are there for me if something does go wrong. And my mom wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning every morning to test me to make sure that I'm still okay, and I feel like it would just ease everybody's minds.
Alexis, how old were you when you were diagnosed with diabetes?
I was 7 and a half, turning 8.
And how old are you now?
I'm 9.
9? If they came up with a cure tomorrow, how would that change your life?
I think it would be a lot easier. I wouldn't have to get to test my blood 4 times a day or 5. I wouldn't have to get needles in me all the time. I would be able to just be normal.
My name is Joseph Lang. I was diagnosed at 11 after sport one time, after basketball. In the middle of the night I woke up at 40. So that was scary. If they found a cure for diabetes, it would change my life, and I wouldn't have to test as much during sports, and I wouldn't have to go to every teacher and inform them, and every coach I have. And it would also be tremendous that nobody else has to deal with this disease and go through what all of us have gone through.
Olivia.
Olivia? And how old were you when you were diagnosed?
11.
If they found a cure for juvenile diabetes tomorrow, it would help a lot because I don't really like needles. I had a really big fear of needles, and it would give me freedom to go with my friends without my parents worrying about me 24/7 and not sleeping, and having the fear of going low at night and not waking up in the morning is a scary thought to think about.
So Savannah, when were you diagnosed? How old were you when you became diabetic?
I want to say I was 10. I was diagnosed April 1st, 2008. If they found a cure tomorrow, it would change my life in a lot of ways. Most of all, I think I wouldn't have that fear of going into adulthood and worrying about passing on type 1 diabetes to my future children, and I think that's really important.
So Lucas, when were you diagnosed with diabetes? How old were you?
I was 4,
4. And how old are you now?
7.
If they came up with a cure for diabetes tomorrow, what would that do to change your life?
And I just would feel free.
My name is Hannah Carlo. I was diagnosed with diabetes in October 2004. I was 4 years old. Whenever I get really sick with the flu or something, that'll send me into the hospital because I can't handle any food or drink, so my blood sugar gets really low, so I'll be in the hospital for 3 to 4 days times until I'm better. If they found a cure for type 1 diabetes, I would not have to worry anymore about going to bed and having a chronic low in the middle of the night and waking up in an ambulance or the hospital. And if I no longer had type 1 diabetes, I wouldn't have to worry about not having enough insulin to supply me for that day or not having to take shots anymore. And it would just be really good.
Your name is?
Drake.
How old are you, Drake? 10. Okay. And how old were you when you found out you were diabetic? If they found a cure for diabetes tomorrow, how would that change your life?
Get to eat more sugar.
I am Lizzie.
And how old were you when you were diagnosed diabetic?
11. If found a cure, it'd make life a lot easier for me. Well, with sports especially, because what happens is sometimes I'm like playing a game and then I have to be asked to like get out of the game because I'm low.
My name's Noah. I was 6 years old when I was diagnosed. Once I had a bad experience in school, 6th grade I think, and I fell down a flight of stairs because I passed out.
Low blood sugar?
Low blood sugar. I've heard a little about the artificial pancreas, and I want to give it a shot, but I don't know. If it changed my life, maybe it would provide me with an opportunity to relive life. Give me that experience as a normal kid in my childhood.
My name's Alyssa Danner. I was diagnosed at age 9. An artificial pancreas to me would be not having to deal with and worry about my blood sugar, like low blood sugar, and having to get up in the middle of the night and check it, or during a cross-country race having to worry about it, or high blood sugar, which could create complications later in life.
My name is Sarah Roberts. I was diagnosed at age 3. When I was in 3rd grade, I had a seizure in school, and it was from high blood sugars.
And so what happened?
And they took me home, and then I guess I had too many shots from it being high, and it just dropped really fast. And I was screaming a lot, and my dad came in, and I kind of blacked out. I don't really remember what I saw, but it was pretty scary. If they found a cure, it would be a whole new living style. It would be kind of like a dream. It would be surreal.
Nobody said it was easy. Oh, it's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start.